What's going on, ghosties? Welcome back to Tales of Spooky Coffee House. If you're new here, welcome to our podcast. We are your hosts. I'm Veronica,
And I'm Chelsea.
and it's time for our much needed coffee break. However, before we get started, I have something to say.
Uh-oh.
Are you ready?
I guess.
Happy birthday! Something, yeah.
From all
Happy
of us
birthday,
to you,
something.
we
Yeah, I don't
wish
even
it
know
was
it.
our birthday so we could celebrate too.
Shut up. You're not the you're it's your birthday. You're not the one that's supposed to be singing it. Shut up.
But you're not the
Happy
one that
birthday,
knows the song.
Chelsea. Shut up. Let me make this moment special. Happy birthday. Let me pretend to love you. Guys,
See,
our
did you hear it,
very
Ghosties? Did
own
you hear it? She said pretend.
our
Gotta
our
pretend to love
very
me.
our very own Chelsea has celebrated her birthday this past week. It is her birthday month, and that's all I really want to say. I mean, good for you. You lived another year closer to death. Yay. No, I'm just kidding. I
Yeah,
love
I know,
you.
right?
I'm so grateful for you, and I'm so happy to be doing this podcast with you. A funny story, actually, if you guys didn't see our post on Instagram or my post on Instagram, on our Chelsea Spooky Coffee House, I posted a picture of Chelsea and I went on during the day of my quinceañera. So I turned 15, and we took a limo to Hollywood Boulevard. We walked, where the Walk of Fame is and all that stuff. We looked at the stars. We took pictures with the characters. Of course, the picture is Jason and Michael Myers, I believe. So I go to work, and my coworker goes, "Hey, was that picture from your quince?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she goes, "Was it horror themed?" And I was like, "No, that was in Hollywood." Because it's kind of like tradition. Like when you do your quinceanera, you get a limo and you go somewhere and you do stuff and you take pictures with like
Uh-huh.
whoever's in your court. We just went to Hollywood. It was just you, me, my cousins, my aunt, and my uncle, and we had a great time. And then we continued to have a great time for the rest of the day. But just wanted to tell you about that really quick.
Yeah, and did you hear that, Ghosties? Even when we were teenagers, Veronica loved me so much that I was part of her court.
I mean, I didn't have a court, but if you want to see it that way to feel
Technically,
special,
technically.
no, yeah, no, whatever. No, yeah. Yes. Yes. She was in my court.
It's
Yes.
my birthday, go with it.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. So, anyways, how old are you? How old are you now?
We're
28?
not going to talk about that.
All of a sudden, you have issues with the numbers.
Listen, do you want me to tell you how long we've been friends?
Not as old as how you are.
That's true.
I don't even know if that made sense. Let's move on. Let's move on.
Yeah, it made sense to me. I don't, the ghosties are gonna probably be like, what the fuck?
Well, yeah, no, we're fine.
Listen, speaking of like, our horror picture from your Kinsey, I am trying to get myself into the spooky season.
Still?
Um, I've had a lot going on, okay? I've been trying to get
Yeah.
myself there mentally, and it doesn't help that, and I've told you this, I'm writing a book right now
Hmm.
that is it's a thriller, it's book 2 to Obsession, and it's scary and all that, but it takes place at Christmas time. And I'm a very sense driven author, so I need like visuals and audio to like kind of like set me into my story. And so
Uh-huh.
I I'm so embarrassed to say, but I've had to listen to Christmas music to get me in the mood for it. And so it's very hard to transition from Christmas to Halloween to Christmas and anyway, so Walmart has pumpkin spice creamer back out. And
Yes. Bum, bum,
yeah, so that
bum.
inspired me. And then I've been reading well, technically it's not a new book series, but it's vampires and werewolves and dragons and gargoyles and
Hmm.
witches. And so I've been listening to that audio series, and it's like 6, 7 books. So I'm excited to get myself into the spooky season.
Yeah, it is exciting. It's an exciting time of year. Some of you ghosties may know our friend Z, who's been on the show. We're actually going to San Diego next month and we're doing a night tour at the Whaley House. So I'm really, really excited for that. It's the first thing I have planned out for like Halloween season. The Museum of Death is open in Hollywood. However, my friend, the same coworker that asked me that question about my quince picture, she went recently and she said it's very small, like much smaller than what it used to be. So
Really?
she thinks that they're still building it and still working on it, but maybe that they needed money, so they opened their doors. I'm not
Uh-huh.
sure, but she didn't seem too thrilled. But I'm gonna go check it out for myself, hopefully one of these days. And I don't know. Hopefully it's still great.
The next time I go out there, we have to go for sure.
Of course. We need to make like a list, a check off list. Wake up
Right.
at 4 in the morning and then end the day at midnight or 1 or 2 or 3. Just kidding, I don't know. So moving on to our here coffee break, our catch up segment. I do have some questions for you.
Okay.
Um, Question number one. Who is the most annoying person that you know?
You. No, I'm just kidding. Uh I'm not gonna say who it is.
Okay, it's okay, I know. Um, Next question. Have you ever sent an inappropriate text to a family member by accident?
To a fan.
Okay, good, good, good. Oh, I was a little scared. I'm like, but then again, you guys
No.
are pretty close, but not in that way.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
If you could create your own job, what would it be?
Create my own job?
Mm-hmm.
Like create a job that's never existed or just like create like my own company with the job?
Yeah, let's go with that.
I'd start up my own publishing company.
Ooh, yeah, you've talked about that before.
Yeah.
So my last question is, what is the dumbest way you've ever hurt yourself?
Okay, I have a tie between two stories, okay?
Okay.
So like I used to work retail, um, probably like 8, 9 years ago now, and I have a scar on my hand in between um my middle finger and my ring finger on my right hand
Mm-hmm.
because my dumbass was like always conscious about, not breaking company, like, not breaking the products and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I was helping my boss set up the summer aisle. And I was pushing the cart full of all of the merchandise, and I
Mm-hmm.
guess like a bolt or something came out of it because like the whole fucking cart just like started to fall apart, and
Mm-hmm.
everything started to topple to the side. Well, there was some like glass stuff in there that I was trying to catch, and the tiki torches got in the way, and so I have a scar on my hand because the tiki torch cut me open.
Oof.
So I felt like that was pretty stupid. But then there was a time, I think I was like 10. Um, I don't know why. And I still do this to this day, just not the pools. It's like steps and corners and stuff. I don't like to walk around corners. I like to jump over them.
Uh-huh.
So I was jumping over the corner of Nana's pool in the backyard, right where the steps are. And
I'm scared.
you know that before
I
they
think I
had
remember this story from some time ago, but Jesus, I'm
yeah.
scared still.
Actually, it was in middle school. It was right after they had their pool redone, and I wasn't used to jumping over the pool with the new bricks that were there
Mm-hmm.
because it used to be just straight concrete, and the bricks are slippery when they're wet. And I might have slipped into the pool and sprained my ankle. I have a pretty big scar that's like a shade darker than my natural skin color on my leg that goes
Uh-huh.
from ankle up to my like right under my knee. And yeah, that was a fun day. Nana and Grampy had to take me to the ER, and I had to explain to the ER doctor, my grandparents, and my mother how I jumped over the corner of the pool and fucked myself up.
Oh, Chelsea. Chelsea, Chelsea, Chelsea.
And the fact that I still do it to this day just cracks me up. Like I don't know what it is about like corners and like 90-degree angles, but I jump over them.
Well, did you learn your lesson at all?
Obviously not if I'm still doing
Have you tried learning your lesson at all?
it. No,
Nah.
no, I don't learn my lessons. I just keep
Yeah,
repeating them until the
you
tarot
become the
cards tell me to
lesson. You
fuck off.
become the lesson. That's
Yeah,
what you become.
exactly, exactly. So, since we're done embarrassing me, do you want to get us started on the true crime topic of the week?
Yes. So I will be reading an article from ATI, also known as All That's Interesting, and I'm going to be talking about acid killer John Haigh. Um, so in February of 1949, police raided a warehouse on Leopold Road in West Sussex, owned by John George Haigh. Inside, they found several 40-gallon drums and containers of concentrated sulfuric acid. Outside, they found 28 pounds of melted human body fat, part of a human foot, human gallstones, and part of a denture.
Oh, nice.
If I haven't given a trigger warning yet, trigger warning, too late.
Right?
Um, so it was clear to investigators from the acid inside what had happened. Hay had murdered someone and dissolved their body in acid to hide his crime. However, what would become more shocking over the course of the investigation was that he had done it before and had planned to do it again, had it not been for one small misstep. John George Hay had not started out a killer. He had been born into an affluent conservative family in Yorkshire, grew up attending classical music concerts, and was awarded several scholarships throughout his academic life. His charmed adolescence ended at the age of 25 when he was arrested and jailed for fraud, just months after marrying. Upon his imprisonment, his new bride left him, and his conservative relatives decided to want nothing with him, nothing to do with him. After serving just 2 years, John Hay was released from prison and moved to London, where he became a chauffeur. However, despite serving time for fraud, he continued to swindle unsuspecting do gooders out of their money. He would pretend to be a solicitor named William Adamson. He would frequently sell fraudulent stock shares from the estates of his dead clients at below market rates. Eventually, he was caught when one of his clients realized he had misspelled his false name on a legal document. Stupid. In 1939, he was arrested and imprisoned again, this time sentenced for 4 years for fraud. While in prison, Hay realized that his biggest downfall was that he had left his fraud victims alive to report the crimes.
Dumbass.
Exactly. He spent the rest of his time in prison devising ways to dispose of any witnesses to the crimes that he fully intended to continue committing upon his release. He began researching the French murderer Georges Alexandre Sarret, whose signature had been dissolving his victims in sulfuric acid. Using his free time, he devised his own method of dissolving bodies in various forms of acid by practicing on mice. Eventually, he found that it took 30 minutes for a small field mouse to dissolve and was able to calculate how much acid and time he would need for a full grown man. 4 years later, free from prison and armed with this macabre knowledge, John George Hay took a job at an engineering firm in the accounting department. Soon after, he ran into an old friend named William McSwan, who he had worked as a chauffeur for. That was kind of a tongue twister for me. I'm so sorry. Mick Swan told him about his new venture as a landlord, collecting rent from the tenants who stayed in his parents' multiple properties. Though he had a well paying job at the engineering firm, Hay became jealous of McSwan's seemingly lavish lifestyle and the little effort he seemed to put into it. A few months after bumping into him, Hay lured McSwan to an old abandoned basement and hit him over the head. Using his newfound disposal method, Hay put McSwan's body into a 40-gallon drum and filled it with concentrated sulfuric acid. 2 days later, McSwan was nothing more than 100 or so pounds of sludge, which Haigh poured down a manhole. Riding the high of his successful murder, Haigh took over McSwan's landlord duties, telling McSwan's family that he had run away to avoid being drafted. Eventually, when the elder McSwans became suspicious as their son had not returned home even after the draft was over, John George Haigh killed them as well. Left with their money and their properties, Haigh moved into the Onslow Court Hotel in Kensington. However, the roughly $10,000 that he had stolen didn't last long, as he shortly developed a gambling problem. Running through his cash quicker than he expected, Haigh was forced to find another wealthy couple to kill and rob. After feigning interest in a house that was for sale, Haigh murdered the owners, Dr. Archibald Henderson and his wife Rose. Both Hendersons were disposed of at a warehouse in Gloucester, where McSwan family had been also been killed. The warehouse seemed to be the perfect place as it was relatively remote and contained a manhole where the human sludge would be easily disposed. After the five murders, John Haigh rented a larger warehouse on Leopold Road with more space for his drums and acid concoctions. Here he would kill and dissolve his final victim. Olive Duran Diacon was a wealthy widow who lived at the Onslow Court Hotel with Haigh. Olive thought herself something of an inventor, and upon finding out that Haigh worked at an engineering firm, asked if she could talk to him about an idea she had for artificial fingernails. Haigh took the opportunity to lure her to his warehouse and murder her there. Olive Duran Deacon, I believe is the right way to pronounce her last name, I apologize, was the body that investigators discovered outside the Leopold Road warehouse. You see, unlike Hayes' previous disposal grounds, the Leopold Road warehouse had no floor drain and no manhole access. Unable to pour the sludge quietly into the sewers, Haigh had been forced to dump it in a pile of rubble behind the warehouse, where it was easily uncovered by investigators. Upon the discovery of Olive Duran Deacon's body, Haigh was arrested and charged with murder. Now known to popular media as the acid bath murderer, he pleaded insanity and claimed that drinking the blood of his victims had driven him mad, though there was no evidence that he had in fact consumed human blood. After hearing his insanity defense, one of the arresting officers mentioned to the prosecutors that Haigh had asked him what the chances were of being released from psychiatric hospital versus prison. The jury then took only minutes to return a guilty verdict on Haigh, sentencing him to death on August 10th, 1949. John George Haigh was executed for his crimes. That was my true crime topic of the week. Hope that was fun for you guys.
He's a
Um,
wild ride.
he was a wild ride, right? But let's move on to another wild ride. Do you want to get us started on the paranormal topic of the week?
Yeah. So this week's paranormal topping.
I love it.
This week's
We're
paranormal
still,
topic. What?
sorry, I was gonna say we're still high from the last episode.
I know, right? So the paranormal topic of the week is the Carl Beck House. So the Carl Beck House is considered to be the most haunted place in Canada, and it is a Queen Anne revival design from the Victorian era. It was
Hmm.
built by Carl Beck, who was the wealthiest of the local lumber magnates in the late 19th century, and he was also the mayor of the town between 1892 and 1895. He did buy the first automobile in the area, which was a 1903 Oldsmobile, which is in display in the museum out there. And the house is like really, really large. It was built to fit him, his wife, and his 9 children.
Well,
Yeah, can you imagine 9 children? I still have a
no, I
hard
don't
time
want
wrapping my
to.
head around Nana's 7 siblings.
Yes.
So, the story of Carl Beck was that while he was living in his home with his family, he lost his wife and 2 of his young children. It's believed that they are the three of the most active spirits that are in the house, and the house has been converted into apartments, and the owner of the apartments has state like that they believe there are as many as 18 spirits in that house.
Hmm.
One of the other spirits is believed to be Charles's daughter Mary. When his wife passed away, Mary was put in charge of raising the younger children,
Hmm.
but eventually she left the house to get married and start a family of her own, which created this like horrible friction, and Charles resented her for it.
Hmm.
So much so that when he passed, he split his inheritance evenly between all of his children except for Mary, who only received $1.
Ouch.
Yeah. So the theory is that Mary haunts the home in protest of not receiving a fair amount of the inheritance. And a lot of visitors and former residents of the apartments claim that they have felt either a slight tugging on the blankets, somebody's tucking them into bed, and others have claimed to hear female voices shooing them away, and both are believed to be the hauntings of Mary. Other paranormal activities that visitors and residents have reported are that of doors closing on their own, lingering smells of cigar smoke, dark shadows moving throughout the halls, and a female figure who is supposedly seen standing on the top floor window staring down at people. And she is angry looking and whispering very hostilely to passerbyers.
Sounds like a Monday morning to me.
Yeah, right? Like, I would be tired too. Maybe she woke up on the wrong side of the bed every day.
Exactly.
The best part about this haunted house is that if you want to stay the night, you are more than welcome to using Airbnb.
Ooh,
Yep, you get to stay on the top floor in the attic where the female figure is supposedly seen.
add that to my places to go.
Yep, so if you want, we can make a girls' trip to Ontario, Canada.
I'm so fucking down, dude. You don't
I just
understand.
gotta,
I
I just
Hey
gotta get a
Canada.
passport.
Yeah, I don't have one.
Yeah, we have to get passports and stuff first, but that's definitely on the list. But yeah, that's my topic, the haunting of the Carl Beck House. If
Good
you're
shit.
if you want like way more details, there's so many like paranormal investigators that do videos on it and stuff.
I love when we bring up like paranormal topics or like haunted locations that you could actually visit or stay at because it's so exciting. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, like
like when
that's
we
why
stayed at
even
the
though
Patterson house, like that was such a great experience.
exactly, like even though like it's a bigger topic, like there's like I said, there's a lot of people that go and do video and documentaries on it, but like you can stay there. Like it's I always love talking about those because then people are like, oh yeah, like let's go. Like Queen Mary and like you said, the Patterson House and yeah.
Well, thank you for that, Chelsea. I appreciate you.
You're
We
welcome.
appreciate you.
I appreciate your hype.
Yay, yay.
See, guys, she's
That
not
was
always a
embarrassing.
baby.
So moving on, to our tarot card reading. Chelsea asked me, when we were planning this episode out, what are we gonna do for our tarot card segment? And what I want to do is I want to do a happy birthday tarot spread for you, Chelsea, which consists of 5 cards. Card number 1 will represent the last year. Card number 2 is something you need
Words.
to let go of. I know words are hard. We know this. Every episode, I swear, there's always something where I'm struggling to like say it. Um, so something you let go of. Number 3, a gift you will receive. Card number 4, embrace this. So we'll get to that. And then card number 5, the last one. This card represents the next year. So I am using my Mystic Mondays Tarot card deck. I will be reading from the guidebook just to get a solid meaning behind the card. And if there's any more input that we'd like to put into it, we'll go ahead and do that. So card number 1, the card that represent this last year. So the card that you got, Chelsea, is Princess of Swords reversed. So challenging authority with a know-it-all attitude can get old pretty quick. You're bored and in need of mental stimulation to keep up with your rapid-fire thoughts. All talk and no action leads to a distrust between you and your peers. Making promises you cannot keep does not bode well for your reputation, nor aligns with your intentions. Communication is a two-way street. Become aware of how you speak to others, as it may rub them the wrong way, and you can come off as annoying instead of intelligent.
Listen, I thought this was supposed to be fucking happy birthday reading.
I'm not done. Excitement spurs you. However, your energy is scattered when you try to do it all at once. Fear of people judging you can stop you from spreading your thoughts and ideas. Don't let the haters get you down. The world wants to hear what you have to say. Um, so right
Listen,
away,
if
what
that's
I'm
not my last year in like the perfect explanation, I don't know what else is.
I think the card was being a little mean. Um, what I would have said is I think you've made too many like goals for yourself. You had too many things to do that you just got overwhelmed and you couldn't get to each one of them, and you were a little cocky about it, maybe a little too confident that your procrastination will, like, you'd get it done, eventually. That's what
Kind
I'm
of
getting
like
because I know you.
kind of like how book 2 of Obsession is supposed to be published in December and I haven't even finished the outline yet and it's August.
Okay, so maybe the card wasn't being too mean, maybe it was being
Yeah, no, that's
real.
why I said like it's pretty on point.
um so yeah, moving on. Card number two is something that you need to let go of. So you got the Queen of Pentacles reverse. And again, this is something you need to let go of. All work and no play. You may be immersed completely in your career right now, working hard to provide for your family, which ironically is also taking quality time away from your loved ones. You are experiencing overwhelm, struggling to judge your career and home life, and are feeling inadequate in the process. Return to a place to rejuvenate your juices and ground yourself to your center. Balance is key for oh my god, hold on, another word. Sustainability. Whew, for both your health and your sanity. If you are questioning your ability to be financially independent, trust your gut instincts. You don't have to work yourself down to the bone in order to achieve the goal for yourself and your family. Take a step back and see where you can spend less time in control. Work smarter, not harder. Stop giving yourself so much shit to do, Chelsea.
Bro.
You wanted
Listen.
this.
What do you mean? I didn't ask for this reading.
Hey. People are listening to this podcast and you don't have to start screaming like that, okay? What if she's driving to work right now listening to this episode and you scared her as she's driving and she swerves and, like, hits a fucking raccoon in the freeway or something? You never know.
Z, Veronica's being mean to me. Can you do something about it?
She's gonna be like, nope, she's mean to me too. Now you gotta deal with her. All right, so moving on. Card number three. It's gonna start getting better. A gift you will receive.
Wait. Stop. Pause. Speaking of gifts, I want to tell you about a gift that my mom got me for my birthday.
Ooh, what did she get you?
It hasn't come in yet, okay? But when it does, like I'll post a picture on Instagram for you guys. But so she got me a welcome sign for my door.
Uh-huh. Oh
And it
God.
says welcome, but it's crossed out with like a knife slash with blood like spilling out. And then
Ooh.
underneath, it's got in order Freddy Krueger, Pennywise, Jason, Chucky, Ghostface, and Michael Myers. And it's just like their silhouettes, like
Yeah.
it's
That's
not.
still badass though. You can tell who they
But
are.
underneath, because remember how I said like it's got the cross out for the welcome. Underneath the characters, it says "You should leave" in bloody letters.
Oh my God, I need that. I need that to put in front of my room door.
I was so excited. I was like, yes.
That's a pretty good gift. Good job, Mom. That's a good one.
Continue. I just wanted
Okay.
to share that with you.
No, you're good. Thank you for sharing. So card number three, this is where it starts getting better, I hope. A gift that you will receive. Again, you got the Knight of Wands. So act first, think later. Driven by a fiery ambition, the Knight of Wands is ready to take on the world and proclaim his spot among the best. Passionate about his path, he is fully committed to making his dreams come true. Bursting with enthusiasm, he is easily carried away by the allure of fame and glory and will rush into circumstances that will put him in first place. Balance out your impulses with rational thinking and think about the road ahead. Don't wait for things to come to you. Take every opportunity that you can get. Forging forward with speed can free you from second guessing your actions. Although you may not know what is next, the Knight of Wands encourages you to swiftly move forward, be up for the adventure, and see what's next. So, um, I think you're about to get a lot of shit done, and that's going to bring you a lot of what you're looking for. Whether it's satisfaction in the work that you do, providing for your family, providing for yourself, just know that you're gonna have to take a risk here and there to get that to happen. But don't doubt yourself. I feel like you might be doubting some things or
I
some of
doubt
your
myself a
projects.
lot.
Yeah, so just keep going forward. Keep fucking writing that book. Don't doubt yourself. Keep writing that book, and it's gonna bring you good. So that's the gift that you're gonna be receiving. Okay. Card number four is something to embrace. You got the Eight of Cups, which means, let's see here, this dysphatic blah 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 blah
Blah blah blah blah
blah
blah.
blah 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 blah. Dissatisfaction with the day to day leads you to reevaluate your life, where you are and where you're headed. You strive to get to this point on your path and you're left feeling unfulfilled, seeking a deeper truth. There's a buzz in your ear to give it all up and chase your joy. Even if it doesn't make sense yet, you've decided to take a stand for yourself and your happiness. Comfort is material and physical needs aren't quite cutting it anymore, and you're looking for a deeper connection with your purpose in life. Constant striving and achievement leaves you running on empty and neglecting yourself blah, blah, in the process. You're in the mood for introspection, discovering how to best implement your plans in nourishing ways. Appreciate your journey so far in this transition period. You're ready to move past being comfortable and start feeding your soul. Embrace that shit. Are you doing okay?
Yes, I think so.
So I'm excited for this next one. So this card represents the next year, and you got the world. The world is a vampire. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. All right, finito, fin, which means like finally, which is something you're probably feeling right now. Um, oh, a long-term goal has been reached, and you can now sit back and relax. All of the pieces have come together and you have finally found your place in the world. Celebrate this as a huge win. Take pleasure and look back at all the progress that you have made from when you first started. Feel proud? Well, you should. It's amazing how much we can achieve when we put our minds to it. There is an acceptance of yourself and others that creates wholeness and unity. You're realizing that you are part of something much larger than yourself and are able to see the bigger picture now more clearly. With endings come new beginnings. The world could also literally mean that you will be traveling and will experience a new world wherever you decide to adventure. The world is your oyster. So I think there's a lot of great things coming to you in this next year. And I'm so fucking happy and excited for you because you've gone through so fucking much. And it's about time, as it said in with the first word, fiend, finally. So what do you think about your reading?
I feel a lot about the reading, but
Mm-hmm.
I am looking forward to this next year.
Yeah, you are going through a transition, and from the looks of it, it's going to take hard work, but good is going to come out of that hard work. And I'm really looking forward to seeing you continue to grow and become the best you that you can become.
Okay, now listen, Veronica. I hope you're prepared for your birthday.
We don't record on my birthday, so I'm
Oh, I
cool.
will.
I'm chilling.
Oh, I
No.
will. Oh, watch me.
How are you gonna record on my birthday?
Because technically our last episode airs on the 16th, which is right before your birthday. So I'm gonna do
That's but that's
um
not that's dumb because your birthday passed. Like you've had your birthday. I wouldn't even have I'm not even gonna have my birthday and you're gonna do a tarot card reading for my birthday? That
yeah,
doesn't make sense,
yeah.
dude. That's just
Yes,
not
it
gonna
does.
work out. Anyways, moving
Yes.
on. So,
Here's your future.
thank you so much for joining us this week, Ghosties.
See how nervous she got, Ghosties?
Let's continue to argue back and forth. Anyways, we hope you had as much fun as we did with this flipping chaos that was this episode.
I don't know. I
Um,
feel like last week was pretty bad.
no, I'm not confident about this episode, but last week was fun. I think it's chaos now because we're sober.
You're
That's
right.
bad. That's
Yeah.
bad. I take that
Yeah.
back. I take that back. So if you did have,
We're more sober than last week.
anyways, make sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you want a tarot card reading, please let us know. We will be happy to do one for you. We are your hosts. I'm not Chelsea. I'm Veronica. Oh no. Can you just edit out this whole episode?
No.
Like just cut the whole thing.
No.
Just skip to episode 25. Anyways, I'm Veronica.
And I'm Chelsea, the
And
real
you have
one.
a spooky weekend. We'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
It's so bad.